There are few things as timeless as 2 fingers on the dial.
That's the idea.
Tuning a radio is classic Americana, especially at a drive-in movie.
The only rule we have is you can't leave till you've had a good time. Okay, you got that?
Sherry Barnes is the one who takes your $10 for a movie.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And she built this place herself.
I cleared all the trees. Some guys brought some dozers and left them, and I climbed on it and did it because they weren't coming back. They weren't doing their job, so I learned to run them, and I did it.
She puts on a fireworks show every night and is a firecracker herself.
I got it done anyway. Nothing's going to change my direction.
Sherry says she's had this land for 12 years. And after a car accident that killed her friend and left her with years of surgeries, she says this all came to her in a dream.
I would have never thought of this on my own. If I had of, I'd have done it years ago. My God's a lot smarter than I am.
Sherry designed the setup herself, and that design is matched with top-of-the-line equipment that she needs to put on premieres like The Lion King for her customers.
We call it the Beast in the She Shed.
Her direct Hollywood connection for any movie she needs reaches her.
You want to go up front and blow bubbles?
In the back roads of Tabor City.
So there's 2 generations here to get to enjoy their first time. Y'all gonna grow up out here, aren't you?
It's not hard to see who this is all for.
The happiness of the children.
Yeah, I got bubbles.
There's nothing closer to heaven than these children.
All the sweet treats to choose from, even a regular row or romance row. You can count on a good spot to lean back, tune into 105.1 and enjoy a movie the classic American way.
Can't wait to be king.
As the sun's first rays let the moon know its nightly watch is ending. A sound we all know. Trucks along with the morning light. But inside one of these homes it routes around.
Skip backwards.
A little boy knows that sound doesn't mean the truck is coming. His friend is.
It started probably about 2 years ago. He used to come out every morning about this time. He begged his mom to come outside so he can wave at me.
It changed to Friday, so there was a week we missed it, and he was very upset.
Tara Harder's son Braxton has her on quite the early routine to see his friend Sherrard Wilson.
He always has a big smile and starts waving to Braxton, and he always honks the horn. Even if it's 5 in the morning, so our neighbors are probably upset, but he always honks the horn at Braxton, and that makes his day.
He leaves an impression.
I started smiling and I said, man, I like this guy.
While Braxton waits and listens for Sherrard, he has his own truck running routes. Sherrard surprised Braxton with the truck of his own.
I tried not to cry, but I did tear up, but I told them to stay right there and let me go get my camera because I had to capture that picture.
I love him to death, man. Yeah, I love him to death.
Braxton doesn't have much to say, but this says it all.
Bye, thank you, have a good day.
So when Sherrard steps back in and continues his route, and Tara takes Braxton inside to tend to his truck duties.
Yeah.
There's one place they know they'll do it all again next week.
At our driveway.
I like my job. I do. Right there. See the hole?
The more orange aprons and the orange bucket seats, the merrier. The laugh of the captain of this orange aproned operation.
And you got to name the boat.
Doug Peterson.
Just seeing the kids when they come and enjoy it. They all come up there so polite, so nice. Everybody's got nice people.
It's hard not to smile back here at the place where everyone's plates are full. And they have someone like Doug to guide them.
Just glue them on.
Because every nail and wooden toy truly comes from the heart.
Alexa, turn on the Kingston Trio.
Every boat and dragonfly painted in Doug's kids' shop is handshaped in his shop.
like this out here? This is nice. Now they supply once a month, and we cut the rest. We built this house so I'd have my workshop.
When his wife watches her soap opera, he retreats to his place with mementos from days with his father.
That plane up there, the wooden plane, is his. I turned this on.
Doug does the same for the kids, shaping timeless wooden memories with their families.
You use your hammer.
He started the classes when he lived in California 26 years ago.
We started there, and it caught on, and every store in San Diego started it after they saw how successful it was.
Then stores across the country caught on. But instead of once a month, like most stores, Doug makes sure his store has it every week.
It doesn't matter what you bring down there, they love it. 2 little boys that come down and visit their grandparents for the summer. They're coming probably next week. It always comes in, Captain. You can't do better than that.
With the captain as colorful as the boats he builds.
Knock your socks off, what them little kids can say.
The pride of his work.
But this is a high tech. This is not a simple thing.
And why he does it.
We challenge anybody in the country to a paddleboat race with this one.
Is obvious with the ear-to-ear smiles he makes.
Every last one comes up and thanks you.
That keep coming back.
What better job can you have?
Okay, good deal. As the sun tried to peek over the Yachtsman Tower in Myrtle Beach.
Makes you think about what happened that day.
Hundreds rose early.
The firefighters that climbed the stairs that day.
Like the thousands of Americans who went to work on what they thought was a regular day, September 11th, 2001.
It's a memorial, so thank you for being here.
Just to honor those that gave all, so especially the first responders and all the victims of 9/11.
846.
The 110-story climb begins at the time the North Tower was hit, 8:46. 11 stories here, being climbed 10 times. The firefighters did at the towers without thinking twice.
I do it for those that can't.
I did it to celebrate the sacrifice of the people on 9/11.
It's really just about remembering those lives lost. It's an honor for us to do this, just to remember those lives lost and just never forget.
As the sweat pours down, the red bandana catches it, like it did in the South Tower when financial rookie and volunteer firefighter Wells Crowther wore it while saving lives alongside the FDNY. He died with the firefighters in the South Tower lobby.
He put on that bandana and spent his final moments saving others.
The story has become known as the man in the red bandana. It's honored here every year. One of many stories going through these climbers' minds.
I was at the Kewaunee nuclear plant in Wisconsin.
I'm from Long Island, New York, and I used to work for American Airlines when 9/11 happened. So it's an emotional event.
Somebody came out and told us what was going on. We all gathered into a conference room and saw the second plane and follow-up stuff. Very emotional day, all day.
Like I will never forget that day, and we've never talked about it since that day, but it's tough talking about it, sorry.
We were waiting for an 8:45 arrival from Boston. It came in early, and we went to turn it around to depart at 9:15. And I remember calling down to the gate and saying, like, why aren't you boarding? And they told me that a plane had just hit the tower. And from then, everything changed.
This is a sad day. And like I said, I will never forget that. Never. Never.
The sun will set and peek over the tower here again tomorrow. The Pentagon, the Twin Towers, flights 77, 11, 175, and the heroes of Flight 93. You will never be forgotten.
To me, it's something special, and I'll do it every year.
We ask your blessings upon our troops and upon America, and we pray for peace on earth and goodwill.
Mary Lou Retton,
Lex Luger, the Steiners,
Ric Flair,
Tim McGraw,
Fred Ward.
Wrestlers, celebrities like Danny Trejo, and famous bodybuilders. And their favorite clientele, locals. Ted and Nancy Kapp have hosted a lot of bodacious bods in their gym that keeps its 80s appeal.
One of our members that was very artistic did that artwork on the wall, and it's really some old school bodybuilding.
That's classic.
And people love coming here.
Did you imagine 2020? Here we are.
No.
80s was prime time for the Caps, especially Ted, who wanted to open the gym after winning Mr. South Carolina and Mr. Coastal USA bodybuilding titles.
Which was your favorite decade when it comes to working out?
Wow. 80s without question.
The 80s?
80s without question.
What made the
That's
80s?
the day of baggies, fanny packs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Michael Ware.
A favorite memory of Ted's? Meeting an icon we all know.
I walked over with him to this machine. It was a Nautilus leg curl, and I got on it, and I'm doing a set, and during the middle of my set I hear, "How do you like the machine?" And I was like, so I jump up and I was like, it feels okay, you know, and it's like, he goes, you have Tom Platt's legs, and I was like, thanks. And then he goes, take your shirt off and pose for me. And what's that 20-year-old bodybuilder going to do when the greatest bodybuilder in the world tells him to take his shirt off? So take my shirt off.
Ripped it off.
I ripped it off.
Years of fun and memories are locked inside every weight and under each mat here. While a lot has stayed the same, the Caps recently went through a big change.
We were the second oldest gold still alive behind Venice until 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
Yeah.
Now it's Iron Legacy, named for the generations of family who have worked and worked out here.
3.
Maybe a more fitting name for a family that only grows and truly loves what they do.
We've developed so many relationships I wouldn't trade for anything.
Working with family.
Yeah.
Having your dogs at work, wearing this.
Yeah, that's
The value of a coin isn't the same. This quarter hasn't been made of silver since before 1965. It has 119 ridges. Unlike the penny, it has none. It's something coin collectors,
I just say chairman of the coin show.
like Pat Patton, could tell you about.
Well, I started collecting probably when I was 10 years old.
Because the value of the coin
Just, looking through pennies,
is different to different people.
trying to find those that had the little wheat things on the back. And then there was one really, really rare coin I needed for the penny book. Even back then in the late 60s, early 70s, that was a $300 coin. And I cut grass and I sold peanuts and I did all these, washed cars and did all these other things that young kids do to make money. And I bought that coin for $300.
Yes, a penny to Patton meant $300.
My daddy thought I had lost my cotton picking mind. He said, "Son, what are you doing?" I kept it a while and then sold it for $350. And he said, "Well, I guess you know what you're doing."
It's how he's gotten to this coin collection today.
One of the first lessons I learned is don't ever clean a coin.
It's only part of it, all certified. Between the case walls, you find a little piece of history.
That's part of the allure to the whole thing, is what was going on when this coin was made. Who had that coin in their pocket? I mean, this half cent we talked about, George Washington could have had this in his pocket. And that's pretty amazing to me.
From back in the day when coins were really made of gold and silver. This coin, a half cent from 1793, when George Washington began his second term as president. It's the smallest amount ever minted.
My favorite coin is probably this one. This coin became available through a friend of mine, and I had just never ever seen a coin like that. That's a very rare $10 gold piece, minted in 1801. And it's got Lady Liberty on the front. I just think it's a gorgeous coin. It's got a lot of class to it. You don't see stuff like this anymore.
The $10 gold eagle coin carried like pocket change, but with half of this $10 coin, you could have bought a pair of high leather boots, a shawl, and mittens in 1801.
Of course, $10 back in the 1800s, early 1900s was a lot of money.
$10 in 1801 is equal to $204 today. One of Patton's other favorites includes a 2,000-year-old coin.
This could have been one of the 30 pieces of silver.
Patton says it could have been a coin referenced in the Bible.
Now, probably not. Okay, let me quickly say it's probably not one of the 30, but it could have been. It was made at the time when this could have been one of the 30 pieces of silver. And to hold a coin like that and realize the significance of it is pretty amazing.
An ancient Roman shekel, if only it could talk.
I have no idea how many miles it has on.
When you come see this collector of things with age, you can see things really do get better with time.